Us in life face different sets of experiences, success or failures, trials or tribulations, ups and downs. But for everyone, there are almost always a few defining moments which become treasured memories. Friends, have you ever experienced a situation when life throws you at a corner and you have nowhere to go? 18 years ago, I faced such a situation when the world was going through a crisis and my dream was shattering to pieces. But I faced that situation bravely with the help of an ally, my jar of abundance. Life is a treasure house. When I was a child, I was fascinated by the story of my uncle, who at a tender age was invited by the United States after winning an international essay competition, and he met the president at the White House. As a young man, I studied hard to realize my dream of coming to America. As a professional, I took the risk of quitting a secure and lucrative government job to leap into the world of private sector. All of these moments as a boy, grown-up man, and professional molded me into what I am. It is as if all these moments were deposited into what I call the jar of abundance. The jar, it is a deposit of all of my strength acquired over time. It's like a bank account. Every time I achieve, I deposit, and at the time of crisis, I draw from this reservoir. Friends, do you remember the financial crisis of 2001? It was one of the worst recessions when hundreds of thousands of information technology jobs were lost. I was never prepared for that. I had arrived in this country 1 year earlier, along with my wife. It was the peak of dot-com boom. The year saw the spectacular rise of technology companies. I witnessed the entrepreneurial spirit of America at its apex. But within less than 1 year, the bust began. Offices closed their doors, employees were laid off, new jobs disappeared. Soon, we heard stories of fellow techies from India heading back, leaving everything behind. Then, the company that I had been working reported a huge loss in profit, and we were informed anyone not in a project or not earning would be sent back immediately. As the cold and the piercing air moved in, the winter of 2001 turned into a winter of despair. Every day was filled with stories. Some of my colleagues who, in order to pack and leave immediately, started selling their furniture, kitchenware, and cars. Every day was filled with gloom. But my jar of abundance was asking me, are you going to give in to your fear? My jar took me down my memory lane. extolling my virtues, my achievement, all of my success, everything, all of my good deeds, I realize only way to be unafraid is to fall back into my strength. The jingle of that jar filled me with a new resolve. No matter what happens, I will not leave this country. But then there was yet another twist. We are around 10 families were living in an Atlanta suburb close to our office. One evening, our fellow co-workers visited us. I did not have a high favorable opinion about him. I found him cynical and not trustworthy. But still, we welcomed him and had dinner together. In between, he was inquiring about my job situation and my future plan. My wife unsuspectedly revealed to him that my project was ending, but we were not leaving as I was searching for a job somewhere else. It was a huge mistake. Next day, we received a letter from the human resource directing us to leave this country. As things sank in, I realized I had two choices: either to find a job within 15 days or leave. A galling defeat or a spectacular victory. 13 days passed. There was no breakthrough. We sold all of our belongings and bought the flight ticket. But destiny had a different plan. On the penultimate day, I got a call from a friend of mine. His office in St. Louis shortlisted me and would interview me in the last day. It was going to be a 1-hour phone interview. And as you can imagine, everything depended on the result. If I failed, I would have to take the flight back immediately, unceremoniously. But if I passed, it would renew my faith on myself, and my success would inspire my friends, my colleagues, my family members. The night before the interview, I stay awake studying till I master every concept, every detail. Thus, I faced the interview with confidence. And bingo, I got the job. 18 years ago, I won the most difficult battle in my life. And thus, I added yet another jewel into my jar of abundance. Friends, life is overflowing with plentiful abundance. Life is a great learning place. Anybody can learn, excel, prosper. Friends, let's ring your jar of abundance. Rekindle your glory. Let's light up the world with action, energy, and prosperity. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Ankur, for that great inspirational speech. You had so many good phrases in there. I don't want to steal anything from the evaluator, but I liked, you heard that jingle of the jar. It was such a great description and just showing us the jar. And oh my goodness, everything coming down to a 1 hour phone interview. Wow. Just wow. I had to take a moment on that one. Thank you very much, Ankur, for sharing with us today. Don't forget that I have asked you to, and you can list more than one. You guys can keep them coming to me, things that you are